Hey folks, welcome back to the channel here. Thanks for stopping by. So yesterday I did record a video that was a little bit too negative for my liking. So I'm going to try to make this video positive, but of course it's going to have some negative feedback as well, basically to Plarium. This is in regards to their new blessing update. Like I said, I already released the video explaining the update and what I really thought about it on my first impression. After thinking about it a little bit more, there's obviously some serious negative things that has occurred because of this new blessing update. But I want to also add some positive things or how this blessing could actually benefit player base. So let's jump right into it. So like I said, what I was talking about is actually right here, some more update 8.20 basically goes over the big blessing change, how they updated some of the blessings and so forth. One of the bigger changes is that they did increase the odds of you getting legendary souls from soulstones. So now soulstones are higher in value. However, so that's good. So the negative thing is that Plarium has been, they got smart very fast, and they increased the prices of soulstone. So this used to be, I believe, $29.99 and now $39.99. Obviously because the value of these have gone up, right? Because the odds of getting legendaries and 6 stars have gone up. Obviously that's a big negative. So another good thing, but a good thing that obviously came from these blessings is if you look at a 1-star blessed champion, you actually get a sizable amount of stats. So everybody gets the same amount of stats now. They all get the same stat distribution throughout the levels. But if you have a 1-star, you get the benefit of the blessing ability, plus you get a big stack of HP. HP is universally good for all champions. So having a big stack of this is actually really, really strong. So if you're like casual player, or you don't focus too much on the blessing system, even just getting a 1-star for your champion, it's going to help you a lot in many areas of the game, right? So that's a huge thing. So, but obviously there is some negatives here. But here's the negative. Your 2-star is always going to be attack stat. So as you know, there's going to be 3 different stats in this game: attack, defense, HP. Not everybody can use attack. Sometimes you're buying a 2-star for basically nothing, no stats. And it doesn't feel very good to buy a 2-star, spend all those resources, then hope for and then wait and hope for a 3-star. So, it's just not, I don't know, it doesn't feel right that 2/3 of champions can't use a 2-star properly, and you're basically just buying a 2-star as a stepping stone to a 3-star. So that doesn't sit right with me, and I think that's a pretty big negative for people. So I think the value of the 1-star definitely went. I think most people just stay at 1-star if they're looking to push their champion well past a 2-star, for example. So overall, I think that's a plus. That's a plus for small spenders, or people that just play more casually, getting smaller blessings. Maybe it's more worthwhile to buy blessings for more champions now instead of focusing on one champion. Just an example. Another huge benefit of these low-end blessings is that extra 7500 HP is going to help you in all PvE content. If you had trouble surviving in Clan Boss, if you have trouble surviving in Doom Tower, if you had trouble surviving in anywhere, extra 7500 HP is pretty huge. So this is a pretty big buff for most people, even just taking into consideration that they only have 1-star. On the flip side of that, as soon as you progress past the 1-star into 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, you're not getting reasonable bonuses for some of the champions, right? So some champions, they don't need crit damage. Some champions, they don't need accuracy. They don't need all this stuff. To have it could even be a detriment for some people, because crit damage will increase the damage your ally protection champions will take when your team takes damage. Also, increased accuracy means that if your champion has a debuff that you don't want to be applied, for example, to dodge polymorph, now they have 75 accuracy to land whatever debuff they're going to land. Just little stuff like that. So it does feel like the emphasis right now is either get 1-star for your champions and then do nothing, or you got to go all the way to the 6-star. that's kind of, it just feel kind of how it is. I will say that the the positive of that, the way the stats are set up like this, is that all the crit damage bonus is actually on 4 stars. So that means your nuker can be perfectly happy at 4 stars. Your nuker will not need 5 stars for accuracy or resistance. And if you can survive without the 6 star on your blessing, your nuker will be very happy at 4 stars. That might be actually a good thing. Might be an actual good thing, actually. But here we go. Like, here's the flip side of somebody going all the way and getting all the stats. So I'm going to show you guys some screenshots here. Another content creator, his name's Drock. He's a super endgame player, mega whale, insane account. This is his Harma before the blessing update. So you can see that his Harma is fully empowered. See all the extra stats he gets from the empowerment here. 30 crit damage, extra 15 speed, 6.7k HP, and 600 defense. So at 6-star blessings, he's getting 8,500 total additional HP. He's getting 600 total defense, so his defense doesn't change. Gets some extra attack, and then he gets an additional 38 crit damage, and he gets some accuracy as well. So basically, a 6-star empower champion gives him basically the equivalent of +4 empowerment. So you could consider this like +8 empowerment. So if you can imagine, this guy's Karma will be like 68,000 HP with 8.4k defense at this level of speed and this level of power. It just seems like an incredible amount of stats to overcome, especially if you don't have your own 6-star champion. So obviously this is going to be a big problem in somewhere like PvP base, obviously arena. So yeah, if you don't have a blessing, or if you have a 1-star blessing, you go up against a 6-star +4 champion, you know how many stats you're giving up against that champion. A ton. So this blessing system will obviously benefit nukers, giving them huge amount of HPs and defense for extra survivability. And if they are an HP based or defense based nuker that can benefit from those stats, they're going to be that much stronger. So just an example. So here is another screenshot of Drock's Rotos. Again, this is before the blessing change. Here's his Rotos. His Rotos is going to get an extra 7,500 HP and an extra 600 defense. So it's an this is his Georgette. This is his Rotos. So his Rotos is going to get an extra 750 attack. So it'll be 7.5k attack and an extra 600 defense. And then obviously resistance and accuracy. It's just an insane tank of a unit. Like it's basically as good as like probably most people's support champions. So these champions, and also Rotos scales off attack and HP. So Rotos is one of those champions that's going to be insanely powerful. But like I said, a 6-star champion will be that much more stronger than a no-star or 1-star. It's equivalent to basically seeing a baseline champion versus a +4 champion. That's what you're giving up in terms of roughly the stats. So the gap between like have and have not is even crazier than it was before. So this is Plarium, just kind of pushing that runway a bit further now. Whales on the island, everybody else, the world, right? But yeah, so this is kind of how it is right now. So that's pretty crazy. I jumped into the live arena, and this is what reality is now, because I can't buy a win. I can't buy a win in live arena anymore. I couldn't kill a single champion. To tell you the truth, this Georgette I can't kill. This Georgette I couldn't even kill. Like this one, 6-star one here. Like granted, these guys have insane accounts, insane champions already, but you can see a bunch of like the 6 stars here, really just insanely difficult to go through. It is what it is, right? But this blessing change, I think there is some good to it. I'm trying to see some good to it, but I think overall it's just Plarium pushing the runway for people to continue spending in, because now it's must have 6-star blessings for sure. And it's not going to affect everybody. I'm not blind to it, right? Like, it's not going to affect everybody. No one's going to really care about this. It's a huge benefit for anyone who cares about PvE, so it's a good thing for PvE. But in terms of PvP, this is a kind of a disaster for a player like myself. But when the blessing system came, it was already kind of a disaster. And obviously when empowerment came, it was already a disaster. So this is just another layer of disaster on top. It feels like we were able to kind of overcome blessings, overcome empowerment, but now with the additional stats to empowerment, it might be a bit too blessing. Sorry, it might be a little bit too much. Another negative I want to throw out there, blessings, is that there's really not much choice. Now that all the blessings have the same stat distribution, it basically comes down to which blessing is the best. So it's blessing versus blessing. So if you want best survivability, you're probably going to go with bone armor. Ward of the Fallen. Sorry, Ward. So this is probably best for survivability. If you want the PvP, you're probably gonna go sheep. It's just so good, and game, match ending, game changing blessing. Your PvE, it's just still brimstone, probably crushing Ren. And if you're a damage dealing euchre, doesn't matter if you're attack based, HP based, or defense based, you could probably make a case for Soul Reap. Make a case for Soul Reap. You can probably still make a case for Phantom Touch. So these are just like good ones, right? But like something like Temporal Chains, where you got this decreased speed, might be useful, right? Cruelty will probably still see some use for like PvE content against Hydra, maybe. But this one, I'm not sure. Life Harvest was a alternative to people using Polymorph that didn't have accuracy. But now, since Polymorph is gonna, give you accuracy, a nice bunch of it on 5-star, maybe it's enough to swing people to Polymorph, right? I don't know. But yeah, there's not gonna be much variety. They did rework some of these, and some of these and most of them are better, but they're not gonna get much play time at all. Like, there's only gonna be a handful that are gonna be used, so there's just not much variety. And I don't like that the stat distribution is like this, like all set in stone. Just, again, no variety. There's no customization, no real thinking. They took the thinking out of this selection process for the blessings. I don't really like that part, but it is what it is. Anyways, guys, just me rambling a little bit again. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was a little bit more positive, brought some things that we don't really think about too much. Actually, another thing I want to bring out is actually with some of these blessings, there's maybe new builds will come out of it. Something I noticed somebody doing was, I believe, Faultless Defense. There's something cool you could do with the reflect damage from this part. You can basically put this on champion against Fire Knight, and the reflect damage will trigger against the shield. So if your team has increased defense, so that's obviously extra hits against the Fire Knight. So there are some new teams coming out, or some new builds coming out with these blessings, which might make it a little bit, it's good. Build diversity is good, but I don't see how else, like, how can you use lethal dose? Come on, guys. How did they put this in arena only? It makes no dang sense. Arena only HP burn. Just shake my head. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about my thoughts and about this whole system in general. How it affects you guys. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.